Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tone's Market Analysis for Friday, September 22nd. I am coming to you live from London. It's my first time in London. I've only been here about 2 days. I still haven't had much time to go see the sites, but I plan to do more of that as of today. But I wanted to bring you this video because I haven't done these videos in a while. So it's good for me to come out. Now, again, I only have one laptop monitor, and I'm not going to be able to look at your live chat. So please don't ask me any questions until the very end of the show, and then I'll be able to take some of your Q&A. So asking questions now, I will not see them at all. Just wait for my cue to ask questions. Most people aren't going to be watching the live stream till later on anyway, so their questions will be missed. Okay, so I've been just busy hanging out with people. Everyone continues to email me their ICO papers. I can't get them to stop. I just like, look, guys, I have way more requests for questions on email, on Twitter, on YouTube, and most people just pretty much get ignored. It's just the reality of the situation. It's just me, and I can't, answer everyone's questions. It's literally impossible. But hence the consulting service, which again, I don't even have time for while I'm traveling. But anyway, we'll sort all that out. I'll have more to say later on. Let's talk about the live markets. I know many of my live viewers don't really care about the traditional markets, which is why the majority of live viewers come on late. So this way it works for everyone. Here's the S&P 500. I continue to draw these boxes over and over and over again, and I keep telling people that the stock market is only going to go higher, higher, and higher. And some people continue to argue with me as the stock market continues to go higher, higher, and higher. So there's nothing really here other than we've broken out of the latest box. And let's wait and see if we start to go sideways. I'll draw another box, but I would like it to get a little bit further. I'd like it to get a little bit further away from the current box before you can draw another box. And there's really nothing else. Like, I'm looking at the candles, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in a row. So without even turning on my numerical indicator, guess what's going to happen? It's probably going to be a 9 somewhere here. So let's take a look. And calculating, and what a surprise, you have a 9. Look, the reason this indicator somewhat works is because it just follows the human momentum trend. Like, there's only so much bullishness something can have. Nothing can go up every day forever and ever and ever, and nothing can go down every day forever and ever and ever. So eventually it hits a wall, and that's the wall. And you should not be surprised that this indicator on the S&P 500 works significantly better than in crypto, because lots of Wall Street traders are using it. Just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean that professionals don't use it. In fact, professionals use stuff you never heard of. That's what makes them professionals. So you had a 9 here telling professional traders to take profits. Worked out well. If I go backwards, you had a 9 here telling people to take profits. This one didn't work out as great, but you could have always gone back in. But this one worked out perfectly. Could have saved some money. And we just followed the 9s. It's really, really interesting. I actually have to make these podcasts a little more audio friendly, just so that we might be translating them into audio formats. So I really got to start talking about dates when I talk about these prices. But anyway, so we have a 9 yesterday. I don't think the market has opened yet. It's still about 8 a.m. in New York. So we had a 9 yesterday on the S&P 500, and professional traders decided to take their profits. Let's see what happened. So after a 9, I usually look for a 1 to 4 candle reversal, and then most likely higher. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arrow. I'm going to look for a little downside, followed by lots of upside. Man, we're almost out of the bad part. Like September is the bad month seasonally wise, right? So let's see if we can come down to the 50-day moving average on the S&P 500 and then break out. So this is what I'm looking for at this point. And let's see what happens. So I'm going to zoom out a little. Should probably make these full screen. Let's see how it looks on the video. I'm not even sure how it looks on the video. But yeah, it should be fine. Okay, and I'm going to zoom out a little, and I'm going to save the chart. And I'm going to close the chart. Free up some space. Here's the weekly one. The weekly one worked out exactly as I planned. We had a little bit of a pullback down to the prior high or close to it, and now we're busting out. I remain very bullish the S&P 500. Am I worried that the MACD is trending down? A little. Am I worried that the RSI remains overbought? A little. But the markets are bullish. Trump hasn't done anything too stupid, and the markets are going up. And when they go up, you just ride the trend. Let's turn on, see if there's any nines telling us to be careful. Well, there was a perfect 9 sell right here on the week of March 6th. The week of March 6th was good sell indication. Another one here, the week of June 12th, gave you a nice 1 to 4 week pullback then higher, right? This is what I'm talking about. When I talk about these nines, the most likely outcome, it didn't really happen here as much. You had like 2 weeks of flat and then higher. That's okay. This one, I was looking for 1 to 4 candle pullback then higher. I know the triangle told you lower, but hey, indicators don't always line up. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more candle snuck in there, right? So 5 weeks of down and then higher. Then this one, again, 1, 2, 3 red candles, and we go higher. Pulled back again, but now we're going higher again. This is a 13. This is a 13 that's coming. Yeah, this is not a, I know this starts on a 7, and there was a 13 here, right? So you got to kind of line them up. Haven't had 9s in a while, right? So it's, I'm not even sure how far we would go back, but this 13 is probably coming from this 9. This 13 is coming from this 9. So next week, if we go higher, there'll probably be like, what do we got here? If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there'll probably be a 9 below the candles, right? So again, if you don't understand, I'm loving this indicator because it's just been so good at helping me predict the prices. And if you're not familiar with it, please Google. And I can't say the name of the indicator due to trademark laws, and I don't want to get sued. You can either try to figure it out, get very clever, or reach out to me privately for a consulting session, and I'll explain it to you. My rate is still 0.1 Bitcoin per hour. Okay, so this is great. I mean, actually just told you to buy, right? So the moment the moment we broke out, actually, there was a huge buy signal right here. I mean, I don't remember what I said last week when I did this, right? But there was a buy point like literally right there in the beginning of last week. This would have been a buy indication, and still a buy. This 13 doesn't scare me. There's another 13 coming, and I remain very bullish the S&P 500. Save that. This might be a long video. I'm talking slow. Gold. Can I finally say that gold is being predictable? I mean, I have been like a broken clock lately with gold. So sooner or later, I was going to call the short correctly. So there we go. So gold is in a very interesting situation. This is the daily chart. Let me tell you why gold is hard for me, right? There's always going to be a guy that tells you that he knows everything and he traded everything right, but he'll never show you his portfolio. Here's why gold's a problem for me. We had a lower low. We had a higher high followed by a lower low, followed by a higher high. So I have absolutely no idea if this is going to be a reversal point back to the upside, or will we make a lower low? And this is why gold is so freaking hard for me to trade right now. So I'm pretty sure that I noticed this shooting star. And if I noticed that shooting star, I would have told people to get out of gold. This is a reversal candle, okay? You were way overbought on the RSI, and in addition, you just had a MACD cross. This is a daily chart, guys. So these are indications. I had this arrow, so I must have told people something. But right now, this is support. You're sitting right at support. So I'm going to say this. If the moment I turn on the numerical indicator right now, once I turn on the numerical indicator, I have about 200 live viewers. I guess New York is still asleep. 300 live viewers. Awesome. If I turn on the numerical indicator, and yesterday was a daily 9, and the weekly is telling me something interesting, I will put a green arrow up here, right? I'm not yet ready to put a green arrow up. You have a beautiful textbook style reversal right up there of the shooting star. You have support. I don't see a reversal candle, right? I would have loved to see a hammer, but I didn't. So let's see what happens with gold. It's Friday, and you don't want to go enter a position on a Friday. You don't know what's going to happen on a Monday. But let's turn on the indicator and see what happens. Oh, wow. There's a 9. All right. So I'm going to hold to my word. Gold's a buy. Gold is a buy because of the 9. And remember, professionals watch this indicator. So right there, put a green arrow up. So this is where you have to understand that this is an educational channel. It's not Tone told me to buy. I bought and I lost all my money. I go complain to someone else, okay? This is an educational channel. So you have to understand why I am drawing this green arrow, okay? I have 3 reasons to go long gold right now. As much as I hate gold, as much as I think gold is going to $700, right now as a trader, I have 3 reasons to buy gold, okay? As much as I don't like it. But here's the difference, right? Like I hate ICOs also, but I think ICOs are illegal. Gold isn't illegal. I think gold is perfectly legal, and the financial regulation tells me that gold is legal and I can trade it. ICOs, not so much, okay? Which is why I would never actually recommend a buy of any ICO. But anyway, I have 3 reasons here. First of all, you see this black line is my horizontal resistance. You see the blue line, which is the 50-day moving average, and you see a green arrow right here off of the indicator. Would have been nice to have this as a 9, not over here, but over there. Would have been beautiful. Would have been a 9, 13, 9. But hey, you don't get them all. So the only thing that would have made this more perfect is if this candle yesterday was a reversal candle, which this isn't. So I am going to throw on a high probability trade. I haven't even looked at the weekly chart yet, so let's hope the weekly chart doesn't make me delete all this. No, it's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, it is what I wanted. Is this a long trade? It is. So, I mean, it's a little hindsight, right? So where would I buy? You know what? Fine. I'll buy at current prices, right? I'll adjust this in a minute. Jesus Christ, how deep is it? I can't really scroll anymore. Okay. Oh, here we go. Don't really care to make it too long. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I mean, in reality, if I was like a day trader and stuff and I was watching this carefully, I probably would have bought somewhere here off the bounce. Look at how perfect this bounce is, guys. Look, you literally touched the 50-day moving average and bounced right off of it, right? So now, where's your entry point? Well, let's look at this candle, right? Look at the open, high, low, and close. So the open was 1290.72. The high was 1298. The low was 1290, and right now we're at 1294.50. So 1294.50 is actually sounds reasonable to me. It's going ticking down a little bit, right? So let's say that's fine. Right under 1294.75. Sure, close enough, right? So where's the profit? So I am looking for at the least a 1 to 4 day bounce. How high is it going to go? I have no idea, right? So let's play it safe. Let's go to 13.15. But this is the risk reward play, right? You can get very conservative here, right? You can go right below the low of yesterday's candle. The low of yesterday's candle was 1287. So there you go. Done. And this is what I mean by making sure that you have high reward and low risk. You can probably go even higher on your target, right? We can probably go to 1520, 1319. Okay. So that's what I mean. When you look at this trade, right? Look at your risk reward. Your stop is $7.75. Your reward is $24. Now, ideally, you don't want to get spiked out, right? So you want to see a close below this number in order to take you out of the trade. You want to see a close above that number to kind of, actually, no, you would get out the moment it touches it. But in any case, this is what I mean about, and if you're wrong, you're wrong. Then you get to do it again at the 200-day moving average, or you flip it to a short. If this support can't hold, you short this bastard all the way down to the 200-day moving average or lower, okay? Because you see this bottom count, you started the countdown. If this bounce, again, the most likely probability is a 1 to 4 day bounce, then lower. If the 1 to 4 day bounce is turning into a long reversal, then this bottom count is meaningless. But if it reverses or it just keeps going down, now you're looking for this 13. Like if I throw on the full back test, right? Like here was a 9. I know I'm spending a lot of time, but again, like I said, it's an educational channel. It's not a Tone told me to buy channel. Here's a 9, right? This 9, I would have expected, that's why there's an arrow here, 1 to 4 day reversal, then higher. And the higher follows the bottom numbers up to a 13. That's when you be careful. This 9 kicked off another 13, but it got negated with a red 9. So if this continues to go lower, you flip your trade from a long to a short, and you wait for a red 13 going all the way down. Okay, kind of like this was a green 13 all the way up. Anyway, that's the daily chart. All right. But the market hasn't opened yet. I'm just doing it just to teach you guys how do you enter high probability trades. All right, let's save that. Let's go to the weekly. Anything in the weekly that's troubling us? Well, the weekly isn't so hot, right? Like here's the weekly. We did break out. Like my perfect pullback would be down to here, right? If we fall back to the red line and then we start to reverse, I would be very bullish gold. I want gold to reset. And if it never gives me the perfect trade, I would never enter gold. What do I see here? Well, this line is drawn a little higher than perhaps it should be. Or maybe I'll draw another line. It's hard to draw these things sometimes. Put another line right there, right? Because it's, see the two closes right here? Where it closed back in April. And we bounced right off of that. So let's see if we can go back under. So the week, even though I'm entering a bullish trade on a daily chart, this might need some explaining. Oh boy. Oh boy. You guys see what I see? I mean, my clients see what I see. They have plenty of information on this indicator. Oh boy. I'm starting to reconsider that daily bullish trade on gold. So check this out. You had a 9 telling you to be careful and potentially get the hell out. You then had a reversal candle. For the audio people, you had a 9 warning to sell the week of February 27th. Led to, you know, a week or so reversal, then went higher. That's fine. This 9 led to a 13 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, the week of August 28th, telling you that, hey, the momentum started by this 9 in February is over. Think about getting out. The next week, we made a high. And now, this week is about to end, and we're making a 9 right now. And I know it's not a perfect 9. That's why this is an orange and this is a red. But it's still a 9. So I am looking for my 1 to 4 day correction to the upside, dead cat bounce, and then probably lower, because this 9 is saying you should have a 1 to 4 week correction. So even though the daily chart is on a tradable bounce, remember, tradable bounce, you can trade it to the upside, but you know that you're going against the trend. The trend is now to the downside. So I'm going to draw a red arrow. I'm going to probably botch this again. I am looking for 1 to 4 weeks more correction for gold. But afterwards, the most likely outcome for gold, it should be higher. Because when you zoom out, you did, you know, bust out. I mean, look, I'll give credit where credit's due. I thought that gold would go to $700, but it busted out of this area. So, so what do we do? Oh, wow. Look, if I go back in time, Jesus. I wish I would have been looking at this indicator back then. Oh, my God. Look, this is the all-time high. It's just math, guys. This would have been a nice sell signal, huh? This is 2011. There was a weekly 9 a few days before the high on August 29, 2011. So exactly 6 years ago, this indicator did tell you to get the hell out of Dodge. And then it gave you another good warning right at the trend line didn't even exist yet, right? Like this point in August of 2011 and this point in September of 2012. These 2 points drew a trend line. I personally prefer 3 points to draw a trend line, but hey, they're not always perfect, but those 2 sure as hell were. I didn't even see it till just now because I had the indicator open and I zoomed out. But anyway, kind of spot the 9s. Like here it is in February of this year, and here it is in February of last year. Man, loves Februaries. Gold loves to top in February, apparently. Watch out for next February. If you're making a new high in February, like 1,500 or something, you might want to get the hell out. Save you money. But yeah, so I'm looking for a 1 to 4 week correction and then higher. But the daily is telling me I should have a 1 to 4 day correction and then lower. So that's the play. You play the 1 to 4 day bounce and then you flip it to a short. I just think that it's good enough. Or you just play it safe. You wait for it to get back under the 50-day moving average, and you short it down to the trend line at 1230, and then you buy in for that 1 to 4 week low. So this is going to be interesting. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put a short play on the weekly chart. So I'm going to short it weekly, but long daily, if that makes sense to anyone watching this. And if that doesn't make sense to you, then you really want to learn some trading. And since I'm being lazy, no, you know what? I'm going to pick my poison here. I'm going to do this. Perfect. So I would enter this. And again, risk reward, right? I would enter it at like, 99 or something. And my stop level, that's way too high. Right? So something like that, even on a weekly chart, right? So that's my stop. My stop is where my bullish position is, and my gain is way lower, right? So going all the way down to like 1235. Yeah, I'm not looking at the live chat, guys. So if people are getting bored, oh well. All right, so that's it. That's it's a weekly candle. I'll play it safe. I'll go right above that candle. There you go, 1322. It's not the best risk reward, but as it starts to go down, you lower your risk so that it becomes a no-lose trade. So that's how you trade. That's how professionals trade. Learn to trade. Learn to manage your risk. All right, let's save this and let's move on. Done with gold. Oil is going to be quick. Oil is always quick. So it looks like we are busting out. I must have drawn this line last week. I must have drawn this arrow last week. The moment oil can close above this line, and I believe this line should be around 50 bucks. It is. The moment it goes up above 50, it's 1 second, guys. The moment it goes up above 50, oil's a buy, I guess. All right, let's move on. Let me throw the indicator on. Yeah, it's a buy right here, right? So weekly oil called for a bit of a buy. So you can try it. You can risk it. You're back above the moving average. Yeah, we can try it. Let's see what I'm probably not going to look at these charts again for a week. So let me just throw on the trade and call it a day. You buy above that line, you risk like that, and your profit is back to the moving average, right? So again, low risk, high reward. That's what you're looking for. All right, I'll adjust the numbers later. All right, let's move on. The euro, haven't seen this in a while either. Here's the weekly. I'm still, this got missed by a little bit. I mean, that was my outlook for the euro. Let's see what happens with the numbers. Yeah, see, I had this 9. It's just weak. They still say stay long, but I mean, another flat candle and this count flips. If it gives you another 9 here, that would be a monster short. So this trade obviously didn't work out. I would, again, very low. I'll adjust it on it. This is the weekly one, right? So, I mean, you can do it again, right? Like enter a short. There's your stop loss. So again, right? These high reward, low risk. Once you hit it, you're set. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on the euro. That's the weekly outlook. Let's go to the daily. And see, it didn't close. Like this is what's weird, right? Like I would have wanted it to close above this in order for me to exit the trade, or ping above the high. It pinged above this candle's high, but not above that one. So I would still be in this trade. Like there. Like I wouldn't, like if I live traded this, I would not have exited. I wouldn't have gotten scared like that. I mean, that's a beautiful reversal. Let me see if there's anything on the numerics. There was a 13 right there. I mean, 13 with a nice red arrow telling me to short, or at least take profit from long. And I'd still be in this short trade. I'd still be short the euro. I'd wait, plenty of room here. So it doesn't want to go down, but I don't know. I'm not confident in the euro. I'd still be short. All right, let's see. Let's close that. And let's close that. All right, Bitcoin. All right, hey guys. So thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. I think I picked up a bunch of new followers. This is the time for Bitcoin. I am going to talk about some altcoins today from a technical perspective. But here's the thing, though. I haven't had time to pay attention to the news. And now that Mad Bitcoin's Thomas Hunt is 1 hour ahead of me, it's really difficult for me to do today in Bitcoin because he gets up an hour before me, and normally I'm in New York, he's in San Francisco. When he wakes up early at like 7 or 8 a.m., I'm fully up and ready to go. Now that he wakes up at like 8 a.m., but for me, that's only 7 a.m. So I'm still asleep, considering that I didn't even come home last night till 3 a.m. So makes it a little difficult to do today in Bitcoin, but I'm going to try harder tomorrow and try to make that one. Though today's Friday, so we'll see. Okay, so Bitcoin has some problems. Here's the biggest problem. And again, this bothers me a lot. Bitcoin has no transactions. Bitcoin never had transactions. It was all spam. It was all spam by big blockers because apparently they want control over a currency. They want a centralized coin. That's what they want. They don't want a decentralized coin. Bcash is a centralized coin. So, but that's what they want, right? They want a centralized coin. They want to control the currency. Preferably, they control the currency in their own country. So it's like, you know, same thing as the current model. But so there's no transactions. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the world is starting to see that no one uses Bitcoin. Very few people use Bitcoin. And the majority of Bitcoin's price is completely generated by holders and hodlers of Bitcoin. Therefore, Bitcoin can go down in price, and possibly significantly, because it's probably not worth this much. Okay, it was great that it was going up, and from a technical perspective, it looked like it was going to go up higher. But hey, we have to deal with what we have. So you have to realize that very few people use Bitcoin. Oh, just found a block. Antpool, our nemesis. That's okay. As long as Antpool is mining a full block, I'm okay with it. Would have been nice for them to mine a SegWit block that's bigger than 1 megabyte, but hey, it's not a perfect world. But anyway, your transactions are insanely cheap. The mempool is not clogged at all, and we got plenty of room. And I'm going to talk about 2x in a minute as well, okay? Now, let's talk about the mined blocks. Oh, nice. Okay, so the last two... Okay, so Antpool did mine a large block. Excellent. Hey, Antpool, sorry about that. Look, I'll give them credit. They're mining. I mean, when Btrash isn't more profitable, they're finally, you know, doing something right on the real chain. So BTC.com, I don't know about that. Slush, I mean, the mempool could have been empty, probably was. I mean, Slush, that's where I mine. I mine on Slush. But anyway, good job, guys. I mean, look, we have SegWit. I've seen these blocks. Like, if Bitcoin was actually used and everyone was using SegWit with it, that's it. There's no debate that Bitcoin can't handle. Bitcoin is now cheap again, cheap as hell. I've been sending transaction. I've been paying like 10 cent transaction fees whenever I send Bitcoin, like while I'm here in London and when I was in Germany. All right, Btrash. Let's talk about Btrash. The centralized China coin. It is, once again, 10% more profitable to mine the centralized China coin. And BTC.top is the big miner via BTC. Good, get the hell out. Stay there. Please don't come back. You can stay there. We don't need you. We don't need you on Bitcoin. Look, obviously everyone is using it. I mean, obviously, I mean, your blocks are 0.71 kilobytes. You know, I wonder how far a kilobyte is divisible, because eventually that's the kind of blocks you'll be mining. No one is using your coin. No one will ever use your coin. You are a centralized China coin. Anyway, I'll get back to this in a minute. Here's the inflation rate. So anytime Btrash becomes more profitable to mine, miners will mine it for profit because they want more Bitcoin. Miners want more Bitcoin. It's that simple. This is why miners would still mine Aurora coin if it was more profitable for them to do so. Okay? They're only mining you, and your inflation is going to go through the roof, and you're going to have your halving a year earlier than Bitcoin, and then no one is going to mine your coin again because it's not going to be profitable. Look how unstable this thing is, and they expect it to be used. You'll never be as stable as Bitcoin. People want to use the currency that's the most stable. That's why people love the US dollar, okay? Or currency of their own country because it's the most stable. Oh, another BCH block is found because you're hyperinflating your blocks. Anyway, this is dumb. Let's move on. All right. Again, I'm not looking at the live chat, guys. Thank you for your donations. A few of them still come in every now and then. Thank you for your support. Thank you for following me. Thanks for telling your friends. You know what? Let's zoom out. I gotta address this here. So it's been even hard for me to keep up with my Twitter account, but lots of notifications. I gotta address something when it comes to Bitcoin. So hold on. Let me go to mentions. There was something about Tone $100,000 Bitcoin by 2018. Was this it? Yeah. All right. So here's a tweet by Anders. Hey, Anders, how are you, man? All right. So let's talk about this, right? Don't underestimate Tone Vase long-term trend line showing US 100,000 per Bitcoin by end of 2018. Any nation state buying will explode price. That is true. All right, so that's a true tweet, but it doesn't mean that Tone said Bitcoin will be 100,000 by the end of 2018. Here's what it means. It means that my weekly chart had a very old trend line. This trend line had existed on my chart since the day I started writing at Cointelegraph back around the summer of 2014. So around here. Somewhere, I remember this pop, right? So it would have been somewhere here. Somewhere here, a long time ago. And I had this trend line. The trend line was based on the price of Bitcoin. I could have probably like gone higher or gone backwards further. Like, here it is. Like the trend line was supporting Bitcoin from 2011 all the way to 2013. And then it exploded to the upside in a pair of bubbles. Okay. And now we know this was artificial based on Willy Bot and some additional hype. We then felt we were above the trend line for 2 years. We went below the trend line in 2015. We went off the trend line in the beginning of 2013. So 2 years we spent above the trend line. Now, from January 2015, and now we've already spent 2.5 years below this trend line. If we extend this trend line, I think I have to hold shift. Let me see if this works. No. Oh, what the hell is that? All right, so this is going to be tricky. Hold on a second. I hate extending these things. It's always a struggle here. And I don't want to extend it in perpetuity. Let's just extend it. All right, here it is. So let's see what it tells us. If we find a way to get back to this trend line, here's 2018. Oh, here's 2019. So it's the end. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Shoot. Okay, let's try this again now. I want to go to the end of 2018. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. All right, a little high. So if we get back to this trend line, here is the end of 2018. And it looks like Anders's tweet is correct. The trend line that supported the price for 2 years, and then we broke above it and now below it, is at this level by the end of next year. Does it mean Bitcoin is going to get there? No, not at all, right? It just means that this is a trend line that I like having on this chart. And therefore, if we can get back to this trend line, we may continue to follow it. So is it possible for Bitcoin to hit 100 grand by at some point in 2018? Anything's possible. But it doesn't mean I'm expecting it to. All it means is my chart has this trend line on it. That's all it means, guys. All it means. Now, let's zoom in. Here's the weekly chart. I don't have my indicator up. Let's just take a look at in an unbiased way. What do we see? So what we see is, you know what, let me zoom out. I like to have prior tops tested. I don't have it marked on the weekly chart, but let me do that now. See this prior top right here? I think I have to hold shift. Yes. Too much. There it is. Okay. Where is this line? Around 1337, something like that. Okay. We never retested this high. We broke out. This was a weird area, but this area here. What should I actually? I should really draw a box. Let's try a box. Let's try a rectangle. I'm going to take this high, and then I'm going to take this high. Then I'm going to extend it. Come on, there it is. Okay. So this box is very important. What you wanted to happen was for this $3,000 high that took place in the beginning of June, you should have wished for the price to fall all the way down to the 1250 to 1350 area for full retrace. That did not happen. Now we fell to 3,000 and bounced. If we can bounce from here back to the trend line or close to it, then we're okay. But, and this is a big one, if we fall back below 3,000 and start to close below 3,000, shit can get real ugly and in a hurry. And then we bounce. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. Right? And to be honest, I don't even know which one is the better scenario. I really don't. I don't know which one's better. I don't know if it's better for us to bounce here and go to 10K. Because guess what's going to happen? Sooner or later, I mean, eventually we can still go back there. And you'd rather go back there earlier than later. Because later is going to hurt more. Okay? Now, it doesn't always happen. Over here, when we went up, right? Actually, no, we did test it, right? When we went up all the way to, let me zoom out. We never really had this high, like we never retested this high. We never retested the 30 bucks. We came close, right? Like in 2011, Bitcoin reached 30. And then over here, it fell to 55. So it came up like $20 short. It would have been perfect. Then on the way up, it hit 1,000, but then it came back to 150, which more than covered the previous high. But now we have a problem. because we went up but didn't retest. So this is what you have to watch out for, guys. Now, let's put the numerical indicator up and see what we have. So this is my outlook without my new favorite toy. Let's put the toy up. All right, so I was looking for this 9. That didn't come. So this is actually a good sign. This means that there could still be more upside. So there's no short play yet, right? So when you have a price flip, it tells you to go to cash. So if this week, which is very unlikely, if this week we fall below 3,000, it tells you to go short. Also keep in mind, you see these green counts on the bottom? That can go all the way to 13. So this count tells you that you can easily stay long into a 13. Okay, in addition, this count has broken. This is a neutral position. If we get a green 1 followed by a green 2 higher than a green 1, it becomes a long. So to me right now, this is totally neutral. The weekly chart is totally neutral. But if I zoom out, I'm going to save this. If I go to the monthly chart and I really need to do a standalone, monthly is on a 7 of 9. So from a monthly perspective, we can still have 2 more months of upside. So monthly, I'm bullish. Weekly, I'm neutral. But if we fall below 3K, trouble. Okay, let's go back to the weekly. All right, here's your weekly. All right, let's move on to other time frames. How many live viewers do I have? Wow, 785 live viewers. Awesome, thank you guys. I'll get to your questions. This video might be longer than usual. I don't care. Okay, here's a bird's eye view of the daily chart. Is this also daily? What is this? No, that's 4 hour. Okay, here's a bird's eye view of the daily chart. Again, no indicator, no nothing. What are we looking at here? So the weekly chart, I put a box at between this high and this high. This is my final point of caution. Like we can fall all the way there and still be technically inside the bullish trend. But on a daily chart, you have other support levels. The 3,000 is support. I'm missing my horizontal line. I should add it. It was there in other charts, just not this one. I have too many charts. Yeah. Bounced off of it perfectly. I'm sure I sent it out in other charts. Or maybe I didn't save it. I put it down, but I never hit the save button. So this is a huge support cluster, right? So even though I'm saying if we fall below 3,000, we can fall all the way to 1,300, but not necessarily. Here are some positive signs. So first of all, your RSI gave you a buy point. The last time it gave you a buy point on the RSI was right here. What a perfect bounce this was, which, by the way, go back, I called this one. And I called this one also at 3K. Check Twitter. Now, I've been waiting for the MACD to cross, but it never crossed. So this is the premature thing. Look, I can pull up my tweets. Actually, you know what? I should pull up my tweets. Hold on a second. Let me, let's do this. Hi, guys. Let me change what I'm sharing. I got September 18th. Okay, so on September 18th, I tweeted out that, hey, you have, what did I tweet out? This is a 60-minute chart. And I said, hey, you have a 9 on the hourly, be careful. But the daily had a 9 telling you to buy. The hourly had a 9 telling you to sell. And I explained, you know, what I thought was happening, kind of similar to this part. So let me, that's no good. Let me close that. Don't save. Now, let me open the next one. Found a way not to dox myself, but it's more complicated to share stuff. here's that big tweet, right? This got like 400 retweets. So what was I waiting for? I was waiting. Let me have my paintbrush here. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for the break of the trend line. And I clearly state that the 4-hour chart told you to be cautious at 4,100. That's this. Talk about this 4,100, right? Cautious at 4,100. Now, right here, reasons to buy once 4,100 is broken, which didn't happen. That's important. That's important. I was going to be a major bull of Bitcoin, but I was waiting for the break. I was waiting for the break of 4,100, the break of the 50-day, the break of the trend line. And then I was looking for the MACD cross. And then I was going to wait till the RSI is overbought. This was going to be the trade. And if this trade got you back to 5,000, guess what? Double tops are unicorns. The moment you get back to 5,000, boom, you're going to 6,000, you're going to 7,000. You have no idea where it's going, right? But if you can't break this 4,100 resistance, things can get ugly in a hurry, which is what we're seeing right now. So it got rejected. So because it got rejected, there was never a buy point. Okay, now let me close this. Don't save. And let me open the last one. And here it is. We didn't break it. I'll even zoom in. I tweeted this chart out. I tweeted this chart out also. As you can see, we didn't break it. Never broke the trend line. You know, didn't get back above the 50-day. Okay, this 9 called for a 1 to 4 candle reversal, then potentially lower. And guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4 reversal, and then lower. Now, I would never. I would need a perfect call to short Bitcoin. Like this was pretty damn nice. You know, you had a 913 on the same day, telling you to be careful. But yeah, so let's see what's going on right now. Let's go back to applications here. So there it is. And we dropped. So now what? So this is not good. You still, the 3,000 ain't holding it up again. I can guarantee you that. Not guarantee, but probabilistically speaking, right? You want it to bounce somewhere before 3250. You want it to bounce somewhere between 3250 because if it falls back to this area right here, if it goes to there, the moment it gets there, I would expect this. So once it's below this line, or whatever that is, right? 3250. Once we're below 3250, we're too close to 3,000. And the probability of a double bottom is insanely low, very low, okay? Even though like the monthly is bullish, the probability of 3,000 being a springboard again is very low. It can bounce it. It can bounce it, but it'll be bounced back to a trend line, creating, you know, lower highs and equal lows, so that you're making this descending triangle, which is going to break down. But you do have a support cluster here. You have a support cluster. I can extend the green channel. Yeah, I don't care if the video is long. I'm not even looking at your comments, guys. But all right, how do I hold Alt? Do I hold Control? All right, I'll try and be steady here without screwing it up too much. I think that's close enough, right? 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250. 3250 Damn. All right, let's do that. Hopefully I didn't botch it too much. I botched it a little. Yeah, it's better. Okay. So, yeah, that's better. Much better. Okay, excellent. So all of these points are your support points. Right here, almost the same as here, and then your last one here, and then here. These are all support points above 1250, 1350 zone. But they're not as strong. Like this 3000 was actually your strongest support. If you go below that, these are weaker. They're all weaker than 3000 was. So the probability of it bouncing off of this and going back above 5000 is actually less than it is right now at the moment here. But if momentum is done, momentum's done. Once we fall below this 200-day moving average and below this green channel inside the purple channel, we can go down to the bottom of the purple channel. Now, the bottom of the purple channel is looks like about 1800. All right, and then we go higher. Hold on one second, guys. I just got word that I got a nice donate, that I got a little donation in the super chat. Thank you, guys. All right, so watch this channel. I know, and if you guys really want, just copy this link right there and you can pull it up. It's not, not a big deal. All right. Anyway, I'm spending too much time on this now. So let's pull up the indicator. Let's see what we got. Oh, and your MACD never crossed, right? So I could probably delete that. That was like me being hopeful, right? Like, you see the MACD right here on the bottom? Never crossed. So let's delete that. Don't need that. Gone. Hasn't crossed yet. All right, so let's see what the indicator is telling us, because we know what the weekly is telling us, right? The weekly is telling us not to be, the weekly is telling us to be in cash. Weekly is telling us to be in cash. Let's see the daily, right? So this was a tradable bounce for 1 to 4 candles. And it looks like it was just one and then, equal high on the second one. Never told you to go long though, right? Like, you needed this one to be clearly higher than this, and it had a trend line, and this was never higher than that. Now we're going lower. So what does this mean now? Probably adjust this line down, a nudge. Too far nudge. Anyway, I'm getting perfect. Yeah, it's like 3250, 3225 area. So now the daily is saying short. It can bounce, but look, you had a red 2 go below a red 1, and now you have a countdown to 13. So can this go all the way to here? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Okay. So you got to be real careful. Got to be real careful here. Okay. I'm not as bullish right now. The monthly is bullish. The weekly is neutral. The daily just went bearish. Okay. Maybe I'll tweet it out later. I will put a red circle here and say short. I'm not actually going to short, but the indicator says short. But it's closer to 50-50. You're under the 50-day. You're under the trend line. If it goes below the blue, I think it's screwed. So it's now or never right here. If you made good profits off of the 3000, you may want to hold on to those profits. You don't want to risk it. You don't want it to go back down unless unless you're a buy and holder. If you're a buy and holder, and you bought in this area over here on the 3000 low, hey, enjoy it and then pick up some more if it goes lower, right? But don't go long until you break the trend line in the 50-day, which I was hoping was going to happen yesterday, but it didn't, or 2 days ago, but it didn't, which is unfortunate. Kind of sucks. And this 913, now in hindsight, turned out to be a very significant top, more significant than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to, wade into the 2x. All right, enough of this. Let's zoom in further. What is this? This is the 4-hour chart. This is what I was looking for, and then the China news came out, and it's like all went to hell. But again, notice the arrow, and I know what I said. It has to break out first. It has to break out. If it doesn't break out, it's done. Then you had this cross right here, the bear cross. You don't want to see. You don't ever want to see that. Oh, I think that's a triangle. Yeah, let's change that to a circle. All right, so the death cross, 50 under the 200. Now we're under the 50 again, and I mean, you wanted to see it above this, right? I even put it in a tweet. See above that. Yeah, not good, not good, because there's a double bottom here that you don't want it to fall under. Like everything is a little scary right now, right? I mean, you have you got an educational channel, right? If in the next 4 hours we go down, I mean, that's a big boy. That's a big gap right here. That's a big gap, unfilled, no support, right? So what happens? So if we close below this line, if we close below this line, we're going down. I mean, you might get a dead cat bounce off the double bottom, but that ain't gonna hold. And then we go lower, right? I'm gonna draw another line here. I mean, I'm doing this live, and you know what? Like, you want this thing to bounce like right here, right now, because otherwise, shit gets scary. You know? I mean, that's, things take longer than, you know, I should do this, and then this one will probably be steeper, you know, like that, right? I mean, maybe if I throw the numerical indicator on, there'll be like a 9 right here, right now, giving you something. Oh, okay, yeah, there is a 9. Came on up, but here's the thing, right? Like, this 9 is great, but here's the problem. It came on a reversal candle, but the wrong candle, right? But like, this is the candle you want to see at the top on a green 9 with a red arrow, not a red 9 with a green arrow, right? This is a rejection at the 50-day or 54-hour, whatever, after it had already bounced up, and now you're starting a countdown. I mean, and this just called for a short. The 4-hour one is bearish, guys. The 4-hour one went bearish. Oh, holy shit, there was a 9 right here. Well, this one didn't exactly work out, but again, it's the countdown. Started a countdown to the downside, which never completed. It got redirected by this. So here was your chance to take some profit. Again, the indicator told me, I just don't have time to look at it 24/7. I'm traveling. Yeah, this one clearly got rejected. So down we go. The moment we close below, what is this? 30. Where is this line? The moment we close below 3,500, oh man, like I'm probably gonna call for 2,750 as potential support, but I mean, we still have a chance. We still have a chance in the rest of the day to reverse. But if we don't, if we start making new lows tomorrow, if we start to go below 3,500 USD tomorrow, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, guys. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not selling, but I just don't like it. Hourly, let's see if there's any hope left here. So you're about to have a death cross on the hourly. I see nothing. I don't see anything like friendly here. Maybe the MACD. The MACD is trending up. You have some divergence, right? So the hourly has some divergence. So here's what divergence is. I used to love trading divergence. See, the price fell. It's not that big a deal, right? The price fell, but your MACD and RSI, I know I named them backwards. I'm not that dyslexic, though. Your MACD and your RSI are trending up, right? So that's a good sign for at least an hourly reversal. But guess what? Things like to go into the cross. Like there's a death cross coming. So what you're looking at is one of these. It's going to be a long video. Yeah, this is not good. This is really not good. Yeah, so you're looking at a death cross here. You know, you're going to pull into the cross and then it's all over. So the divergence is good, but I don't think it's strong enough. I don't think it's obvious enough. I don't think it's big enough. Any other timing mechanism? Let's see. Almost done with Bitcoin. You had a buy here. You had a buy indicator, which worked out well. You had a reversal candle the following hour. Definitely a tradable bounce into the moving average, and then it reversed. You also had a buy here off the 13, but that's from this 9 gave you this 13. And now you have this 9 doing another 13, so you're on a 6. So this can keep going down. Yeah, I mean, maybe a short-term bounce, and then we'll see what happens. But I mean, everything except monthly is on a long, weekly is on cash, daily 4-hour is bearish, and 1 hour is kind of neutral. We might get to a 9, making it a 9.13.9, you know, reversal. I don't know. I'm a little nervous here, but that's okay. You know, I'm a long-term holder. Hey, look at it this way. My hourly wage just went down. So if you wanted a consulting service, which, by the way, once I'm home in less than a month, I'm going to bust out all these phone calls. So if I owe you time, let's schedule for then. What is this? This is B-Trash. Here's B-Trash. Let's see what we have. No, I don't care about the MACD. Look, there's nothing here, right? We finally got a 50-day moving average. So all we can do is look at the numerical indicator and see if it gives us anything. Well, it gave you a buy point here. Worked out well. You know, you made 50% on your B-Trash. It gave it to you again here, and you went from 0.12 up to 0.14. So, you know, it made you another 15%. Not as good as, that wasn't really 50. That was more like 35%. So another one here from 0.12 to 0.4, 0.12 to 0.14, like 15%. And now it's going down. And now we're back to 0.11. So we're almost at where I sold all of my B-Trash. I mean, here's that point, right? So yeah, so here's your B-Trash line. You know, nice fat round number of 0.1. Right there, right? So let's delete all that. Let's delete all that. 1. So there it is, right? It pulled back into it, bounced. So once B-Trash goes below 0.1, it's going to get real ugly real quick. Same thing as Bitcoin, right? Like my analysis doesn't change. Sooner or later, preferably sooner than later, B-Trash will go under 0.1, and then it's going to go to new lows. It's only a matter of time. It's a centralized China coin. It's not going to last. Okay, wow, this video is going to be long, guys. What is this? After I click on a chart, and then I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? All right, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Litecoin. Guys wanted Litecoin, you got Litecoin. I have no idea what's going on in the news. I just don't. I'm looking at charts. I'm a chartist. Litecoin. I told you guys a month ago, why is everyone going crazy about Litecoin? I saw nothing. I saw nothing interesting in Litecoin at all. Here's your weekly candles. You're in a trend channel. You're going up and down. So here's the situation, right? Double bottoms are unicorns. Double tops are unicorns. One of them is going to give way. And because you couldn't get back up there, it feels like the bottom is going to give way first, right? If we start bouncing along this bottom, the bottom's going to drop right out of it. So I can go to the numerical indicator just to see what's going on. Help us time the damn thing. Well, this would have been a nice timing point. Nice red arrow there. That's it. I mean, you had a doji at the support. Price flip. The weekly chart tells me nothing. Neutral to slightly bearish. I'm going to save it. And let's go to daily. Here's the daily. And just like with Bitcoin, you got a depth cross coming up. Here's the golden cross. And it took off like a rocket ship. But here comes the depth cross. And you're in the depth cross, which is bad. I can extend these lines, but you kind of get the point, right? Like, can I do shift and extend? No, that doesn't work, clearly. Delete that. If I start extending and then I hit shift, yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. So I can extend this line. I can move this arrow over, but nothing changes. Nothing changes. Like, it's bad. Throw the indicator up. See what happens. Oh, wow. Like, I haven't looked at these things in a while, and it's like, ignore the blue lines. It's a trading view bug. Code bug, trading view. Here's a 9 telling you, hey, you might want to take some profit. Here's a 9 saying, hey, you might want to take some profit. Oh, looky here. Here's a 9. Hey, you might want to take some profit. You know? Shoot. Again, if you want my charts, right there, or become a client, then you get the code. Well, this 9 kind of told you to potentially buy. It was a light arrow, so not perfect. But now you're starting this countdown. So when it didn't go up, remember, your highest probability play is a 1 to 4 candle bounce, then lower. But it just went lower, starting another count, right? So somewhere over here, it's telling you, hey, short the sucker, or at least get out. And boom, we're going down. You're being held up by the 200-day moving average. But guess what? This indicator is telling me we're going lower. This bottom indicator is going to go to 13. This top one is going to go to 9. So without this indicator, I mean, it's just not good. Not good. You got a depth cross coming around here somewhere. I don't know. I'm just guessing. You know, unless it falls quickly. If it falls quickly, you can go into the cross. But like, it's if you're a Litecoin holder, I mean, and this is versus Bitcoin. This is not even versus the dollar. This is versus Bitcoin. If you think Bitcoin is falling fast, holy shit, Litecoin is falling faster than Bitcoin. All right, let's move on. I'm about to piss off a lot. I had a client today ask me to take a look at a coin. So let's take a look at a coin. This is Digibyte. This might be the first time I'm ever talking about Digibyte. First time and last time. I guess fortunately or unfortunately, I'm familiar with Digibyte because I met Jared Tate in 2014, back when we all thought altcoins was a good idea. I was an idiot then. Maybe I'm an idiot still. So here's Digibyte. Here's the weekly chart of Digibyte, right? And I have the Fibonacci set here from the top all the way to the bottom. So this is a big difference. That's a lot of zeros, and that's a few less zeros, right? But the point is you're flat again, right? You're being held up by the average. There's not much you can do here other than, again, this is the only thing I can do. And look what this was. So if a client would have called me the week of 8/21, I would have told them, hey, Digibyte can actually bounce at least for 1 to 4 weeks, and then possibly go down or go up to make a 9 on the other side. This one doesn't really count because it's kind of flat here. It's weird. So Now let's drop. So the weekly told you, hey, there's a potential buy point the week of 8/21. Let's drop the indicator. Let's go to the daily chart. And the client should be watching this right now because we just went over this earlier today. So here's the daily chart of DigiByte, and this is that same trend line, right? This is, sorry, it's the same. Let me zoom out. It's the daily chart. Oh, that's a big top right there. That's that Fibonacci from the weekly, from the high all the way to the low, right? Again, now we're just stuck flat. You just had a moving average cross, which is bad. Last time that's garbage. All right. So the moving average cross is bad. Again, there's not much I can do. I don't know what kind of analysis you guys want me to do. All I can do is put in the numerical indicator and see what it told me. Well, there was a nice 9 right here telling you to potentially short it, which worked out. There was no 9 up there. Maybe it made it to an 8. I'm just curious. Like, oh, interesting. I can change colors. Nice. I didn't even know that. Oh, we made it to an 8. Damn it. We almost got it. Would have been beautiful. Man, I thought it could have been a 9. Probably missed it by like a fraction of a penny. And then this could have been started like 2 candles earlier, would have given you a 9 2 candles earlier than the 8. Would have been a 9 right around there. Almost. But yeah, let's go to the cleaner version. Boom, right there. See that? 9/13 on the same day, green arrows, right? And then look what happened. The next day, there was there's the low. So like the yearly low or whatever it was, the yearly low for DigiByte came literally the day after. I have 2 green arrows right here on the same day. And we're still above it, right? But once we fall back below it, it's all over. But there was a tradable bounce right here. Again, if someone called me on this day and paid my consulting fee to look at this silly altcoin, I would have said, hey, you know what? This might be a buying opportunity. And how high did it go? It went from a bunch of zeros, 254, and it hit, I'm assuming it's the same number of zeros, 6. So, more than doubled your money right there, here to there. So no indication to sell, though. So you're on your own. Did we at least get an 8? We got to an 8. Almost told you to get out. Almost. Came close. Yeah, that's about it. All right, no more DigiByte. Can't believe I spent this much time on it. What is this? Monero. This Monero. Okay. Well, these arrows seem to have worked out. But again, look, they're all dropping against Bitcoin. So I must have drawn this arrow a long time ago. So we can slide this arrow over 1. Can move this arrow over 1. I was close. Missed it by a week. So can Monero be a buy here? Well, actually, it could. But the numerical indicator is disagreeing with you. But I drew these arrows before, and they're still there. So watch out for a bounce in Monero, because this one pulled back to a prior high, which is what Bitcoin would be nice if it did. So that's my Monero chart. I'm still can bounce right here. Here's the daily version. Let's see if there's anything to look at. You're coming in. You had a 9. You had a wow. Look at that. Holy shit! Look at that. Oh man. I should be trading Monero and not traveling. Holy. I'm trying not to curse. Wow. So that's a nice arrow. That's a nice arrow. That's a nice arrow. Well, not too nice, but good enough, right? I mean, if you see it coming, and you take a stab at it with a low risk reward, low risk, high reward trade, it went from 0.025 and change. The top was 0.03. I mean, it was tradable, but now it's lower. And guess what? In 2 days, you're going to have a 50-day moving average and a 9 if it keeps going down. And on the weekly, you have a little more room here to bounce. So yeah, so watch out for Monero this weekend to potentially bounce. It's like the only one so far in these charts. And here is the dollar version of it. And you know, it's been good. It's been stable. You know, so there you go. Your only highlight. All right, guys. I think this video has gone on forever. Don't ask your questions yet. I'm gonna pull up the chat in a second. Let's see what I want to talk about. I have affiliate codes. I'm not going to show up the graphic, right? I have affiliate codes in the description of the video. Feel free to use those affiliate codes. If you don't feel like donating, that's fine. I don't care. But use the affiliate codes. If you're going to buy a Cryptomatic watch, if you're going to be trading on one broker, I almost said one coin. That would have been funny. If you're going to be trading on one broker anyway, use the affiliate code. If you're going to be buying a Cryptomatic, use my discount code. Please watch the Magic Money documentary. If you're going to buy a hardware wallet from CryptoHW Wallet, please use my discount code. I mean, you save money. And if you're going to get an account with TradingView, the thing that I'm using right now for charting, please use my affiliate code. It doesn't cost you anything extra. But this way, that's the one way you can donate to my channel is by using the affiliate codes. All right. What is this? I got to tweet this out. I mean, look, you know my thoughts on Ethereum, B-Trash, Ripple is not even a blockchain. NEM is not even a blockchain. IOTA is not a blockchain. NEO is the same thing as Ethereum. Hold on a second, guys. What do we got? Yeah. Hey, so I'm still getting a lot. I know I get a lot of new people. Let me see if I dropped viewers because this video is going on forever. Let me see what's going on here. I'm at 850 viewers. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go back to a chart. If you have no idea what these numbers are, it's an indicator that Wall Street has been using since the 1970s or 80s. Professional traders know what it is. They know what it's called. It's trademarked. I don't call it by its real name to avoid being sued. So you can either get real clever, start Googling this and figure out what it's called and do some research, and by the way, there are indicators that do the same thing as me. It's just they wrote their own code. I think my code's better. You can get their code for free, or you can become one of my clients and pay a consulting fee, and then you get my code. Sooner or later, I think someone's going to just publish my code anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not even my code. I had a programmer do it. I actually have to trying to reach out to them. We got to do some more work on it. Little bug we have to fix, and we need to try and automate the trading. Anyway, yeah. So if you're interested in purchasing this code from me, though I don't even like selling it. I just like to. I like being. I do a consulting fee in order to explain it. Anyway, figure it out. Figure it out, guys. You're all adults. Actually, you don't have to be adults. It's crypto, but try to be adults. Anyway, yeah, I'll tweet some of this out. I haven't even heard of this stuff. I don't even know what some of this is. All right, schedule real quick. I'm gonna be in London till Monday. Reach out, and then I'm going to Milan, Italy. So I'll be in Milan, Italy, speaking on. Wait, what is this? That seems like a wrong date. Here it is. Yes, September 28th. That's better. So I'm speaking in Milan, Italy on September 28th. That makes sense. I'm like, September 13th. That was last week. Yeah, so I'm in Milan, Italy. Here's the meetup for Milan, Italy. Check that out. Please come out. I think Peter Todd's there as well as me. I think I'm going to botch this up again. After Milan, I'll be speaking in Prague. This conference is fully sold out. Hopefully, Amir Taki will be there, and I get to meet him for the first time. So if you're in Prague, you can at least come and hang out. After that, I'm off to California. This is the big one, right? So I'm speaking at BlockCon, but right here, Professional Trading Techniques with Tone Vays, okay? Here it is. I got to update the description a little bit. And I told people that, oh, perfect, it's been updated. I was gonna give you guys some homework. I'm gonna put together an email for the organizer of the conference, and he'll shoot you guys an email for stuff to study for the seminar. A little bit, right? So you have a little bit of a background on trading. This is trading for beginners mostly. Will I get into that numerical indicator? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I haven't made my outline yet. I might get into it. I might not. $200 for an entire day with me is actually a steal, because remember, I charge more than this per hour one-on-one. But you don't have to register for the conference to register for mine, but the conference isn't that much more expensive, and I'm hoping that actually, I know it's going to be good. I'm speaking, Jimmy Song speaking, but technically you can only sign up for this. You don't have to sign up for the conference, okay? Because that was a common question. They're completely independent, and they'll be, I'm not sure if they'll be at the same venue, but they'll be in the same vicinity. And then in October, I'm going to Ukraine. I thought it was September, but it's actually October. So I will be speaking in Ukraine October 30th. So if you're in Ukraine, that will be an interesting event too. All right, I think I'm done. I think this video has already gone on for like an hour and a half. I do want to get to your questions though. Let me stop screen share. I'm getting notes here. Hold on. I have not noticed too much correlation between the stock market and the crypto market. I actually haven't. I have not been noticing it. If someone has been noticing it, great. But I personally have not been noticing any correlations between the two. Okay, I now have the chat open. So this is the time to ask your questions. I know the chat is on a few minutes delay. And let me see here. Checking my phone. Yeah, I didn't get a, okay. So let's see. Start with the word question or start with my name. I'll take a couple of your questions. Oh, so let me say one thing real quick. Whoa, the chat is just scrolling so fast. My God. All right, hold on, guys. I mean, look, the first time I bought Bitcoin, I watched my position fall in value 75%. So it goes back. If you believe in Bitcoin, you should never be scared. I'm not. Well, my money's in Bitcoin. Hey, so while people are posting questions, let me mention the 2x. Oh, yeah, I was going to go to Twitter. I think Charlie Lee tweeted something out. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, guys. The 2x, right? So I don't think 2x is going to happen. I just don't. Oh, whoa, okay. I think I'm way behind on chat and it's like catching up. And I'm glad you guys are active, though. Okay, so the 2x stuff. I want it to happen. I really do. I'm about to change my tune. Like the Bcash, or I mean, they think they get trolled when it's called Bcash. I call it Btrash. That's trolling. That's trolling. So I'm not happy with those people. Tone, why do you only follow 666 people on Twitter? Because I think I follow too many people. Like I don't have time to keep up. I have my little Twitter list. Hold on a second. So when I really want to know what's going on, let me do a screen share again. Application. I might miss your questions actually if I do this. Let's go back to here, right? So if I go to, oh, no, not there. That's my LinkedIn profile. Oh, by the way, if you see me connected with someone on LinkedIn, it does not mean I know them. I'm connected with like thousands of people. I don't have time to vet people on LinkedIn. So just because I'm connected with someone on LinkedIn, it doesn't mean they're a friend of mine. It probably means I've never met them or seen them before in my life. I just accepted their friend request. And half my day is spent on Kayak looking for flights. It's not ideal. Wait, I have the wrong screen share. Stop sharing. Screen share, applications. I need the other one. Oh, wait, I can't do it that way. Shoot. This one. Okay. There we go. Okay, perfect. So if I go to my, it's hard for me to follow. Like if I go to my home screen, like there's too much here. And some people tweet like every minute, right? Bitcoin, let's see what this is. Bitcoin's utility plus its scarcity ultimately determines the price. If you damage Bitcoin's usefulness in commerce, you damage its price. Right. I almost never reply to Roger Ver, but right. So how useful is it for Bitcoin utility and scarcity when you fork it and make two of them? All right. I don't know. I changed my mind. I'm not going to tweet that. I don't care. You know, B-Trash is going to go away. But you get the idea, right? Like, sure, this makes sense if you didn't fork Bitcoin to create two of them to then try to pretend that your alternate version is Bitcoin. But anyway, where's my, if I go to my profile and then I go to lists, where are lists? I have one list. My Bitcoin sanity checklist, 19 people. I'm waiting for a 20th person, right? Oh, man, Bitcoin's just tweeting like crazy. Right, so this is my list, right? So this is where I go. I have 90 subscribers to this list. I think it should be public. So check that out. And so this is where I go when I want to know what's going on in Bitcoin, though it seems like it's all art. But here, members. So this is who I kind of follow, right? This is who I follow to find out what's going on in Bitcoin. If you're not on this list, don't be upset. You know, core developers, Stuart DeMeester, Samson, Peter Todd. You get the point. Whale Panda, Eric Lombroso. So that's kind of my my view. All right, back to the questions, guys. All right, so 2x, right? I kind of want 2x to happen now. I do, and let me tell you why. Because the B-Trash just isn't going away, right? And they seem to be in this delusional state. I might change my Twitter handle to yes2x actually. Maybe next month, maybe in October. Like I don't want to do it yet. Like I don't want to do it yet. But let me explain. This is important. So because B-Trash isn't going away, and there seems to be this delusion that it's actually gonna amount to something other than Dogecoin, right? And it's not. I mean, I'd rather have Dogecoin. So they have to understand that the miners that are mining it don't give a shit about Bitcoin Cash. I can't believe I call it Bitcoin Cash. B-Trash. They don't give a shit about that token. So if they have an opportunity to mine another version of Bitcoin, they will switch like that. So you fork Bitcoin again with SegWit. Half or more of the miners from B-Trash will now be mining on SegWit 2x, which is going to be another garbage coin with no developers, right? But it destroys B-Trash completely, just destroys them, right? At this point, half of the supporters of B-Trash hate SegWit. Now they have no coin. Now they can go to Ethereum, they can go to whatever, they can go to NEM, they can go to Ripple, like I don't care. Go there, right? They go away, and now you have this other token, right? This other fork of Bitcoin that has taken all of the mining from B-Trash. And now you just sit back and say, hey, in 6 months, how about we fork Bitcoin again and then destroy Seg2X nonsense? No one is going to trust these Bitcoin forks. They're totally fungible between each other. Like, the mining will just move. So it'll be really funny if in October I switch my Twitter handle to Yes2X. I'm thinking about it. Thank you for the suggestion, whoever did it, because like forking it again is going to be so much worse for Btrash than it is for Bitcoin. Like, I'm not worried at all. Like it's going to be fine. Like, and then like Zappa will get sued and Coinbase will get sued because they're going to be on the wrong fork, and maybe those nonsense companies will go away. Who else? BitPay, like all the stupid that wants to be on Segwit2X with no core developers, like all those companies would get like sued out of existence by their users, if they even have users going into the fork. God, I hope they have no replay protection. I really do. I made this argument with Jimmy. Like, I don't want to, like, if they don't have replay protection, then they're definitely getting sued. They're all gonna pull a big Vern and run away to China, because if they lose that much Bitcoin on behalf of some whale Bitcoiners, they're gonna be hiding. They're gonna be begging the U.S. government to come and arrest them so they can be in the safety of a prison cell. Let's put it that way. Like how stupid do you have to be? I hope they're dumb enough not to put replay protection in. I really do. Yeah, I have a completely different outlook on this shit. I don't think that's the real Jimmy Sung in the chat. It's still too early for him. It's like 6 a.m. All right, guys. Are there questions? Well, I thought I just explained why I was no 2x before. Look, everything that I do is to support Bitcoin. And if doing the 2x hard fork helps Bitcoin, sure. It's not going to be Bitcoin. It's just going to, hey, do I think, guys, if you think I care that every person holding their money at Coinbase loses all of their Bitcoin, I don't. I really don't. If you have your Bitcoin at Zappo, if you have your Bitcoin at Coinbase, if you have your Bitcoin at BitPay, you think I care if all of your Bitcoin is lost? I don't. You shouldn't have your Bitcoin there. You should be storing your Bitcoin yourself. All right, let's see. Yeah, if you don't know why Coinbase is bad, you really should read the Bitcoin white paper again, or for the first time. All right, I see a question. Can you comment on the next Bitcoin technical developments that could mean an upside for the price, like Lightning Network, atomic swaps? I don't think atomic swaps is all that great for the price of Bitcoin. Atomic swaps just make shitcoins more useful. So Lightning Network, yes. Mimblewimble, it brings us fungibility, yes. More people downloading 0.15 Bitcoin Core node client and wallet. That helps the price. I will download mine the moment I'm back home in New York. All right, next. What kind of changes to Bitcoin would you support? I rely on the Bitcoin core team to inform us on what changes are safe to do. And based on the changes that are safe to do, look, I would like to see Lightning. I would like to see more fungibility as a layer on top, not at the protocol. I think Monero is silly. I don't think you need fungibility at the protocol level. You need it as a layer on top. All right, next. Someone is asking me buy or not buy. I don't know. I just spent like an hour and a half talking about the price of Bitcoin. Guys, I'm not going to tell you when to buy and sell. It's not what this channel is about. Thoughts on the ETF? Oh, God. That's a long discussion. We'll talk about that soon. Where do I trade my Bitcoin? I don't trade my Bitcoin. Please watch prior videos, and I explain why I don't trade my Bitcoin. I think it's completely silly. I hold my Bitcoin. I hide my Bitcoin from myself. Oh, I got a correction. I keep forgetting. Oh my God, before a developer like actually kills me. I have to do a correction. I answered a technical question very, very wrongly, and I really bothered some way more technical people than me. So like a few weeks ago, right before I left New York, somebody asked the question, what happens, like Bitcoin is only divisible by 100 million. So what happens when one Satoshi is worth like $3? I mean, we're far away from that, okay? So, so I said, oh, it's a parameter, they can just change it. And I was corrected that it's not just a parameter that can be changed, which changes my outlook a little bit on Litecoin. The divisibility of a Bitcoin being 100 million is not a random number. It's actually a number because going more than that becomes a programmatic and technological problem. So we really are stuck with 100 million divisibility of one Bitcoin for now until there is another computer science breakthrough. So I will talk about this with Jimmy Song on one of our future podcasts to see what we can brainstorm as ideas for the future. But it's not as trivial to make Bitcoin more divisible. So if there is a distant future when one Satoshi is not enough, it's going to get a little bit interesting as to what can pick up the slack. Yeah, so let's, I just want to issue that correction. But we're long time away from like really dealing with it. There was a complicated question about the Bitcoin ETF. God, we covered the Bitcoin ETF stuff so much during the Winklevoss rejection. I really don't want to relive it now, but when there's more talk about the Bitcoin ETF, maybe I'll do an independent show. Okay. Hold on, I'm getting more notes here. Thank you. Well, that's a good question, right? So I'm reading the question. I'm getting them on paper. Awesome. Thank you. Want to say hi, my host? Oh, man, kill me with that T-shirt, though. I got a mic right here.
Hey, folks. Hey, from London.
Yeah, my gracious host for a couple of nights. Then I'm moving on. Yeah, I have no choice. This is. I'm not even sure what that token was. Let's move on here. Okay, this is a good question, though. It's a good question. Will using BTC full node 0.15 prevent SegWit2x forking? Well, no. It's going to prevent you from losing your coins due to non-replay protection. If you have 0.15, you remain a Bitcoin user. It's not going to prevent forking. They can still fork, and they will have another shitcoin. And if they're not careful, their Bitcoin users will lose their Bitcoin due to no replay protection. But you, if you have a 0.15 node, you have nothing to worry about. You will not lose your Bitcoin. So there you go. All right, more questions. What will you place a buy order in case of further falling below 3,000? Well, again, I went over this, right? I mean, come on, guys. Go back to the video. Look at all those trend lines. I'm not going to give you exact numbers. Just watch the video. Do you think China will eventually regulate Bitcoin? Yeah. They're not going to regulate Bitcoin. You can't regulate Bitcoin, guys. You regulate companies. You regulate CEOs. You regulate, visible people with Bitcoin. Like, they can't regulate me. I don't own a company. I just make YouTube videos. You can't regulate me and my use of Bitcoin. But you can regulate Brian Armstrong. You can regulate Stephen Pear. You can regulate whoever the Zappo CEO is. You can regulate them. That's the problem. Do you think the China ban issue actually can unite? Oh, wow. Okay. Actually can unite core and miners a bit Nothing unites us as a no. There's a huge disconnect between Core and the Chinese miners. Huge disconnect. I don't think they're going to unite. And you know what? This is good. I don't want them united. I don't want the day Core and miners are united. I'm nervous because that's a complete. They can do anything they like. If the developers of the code are united with the miners of the code, you have the Federal Reserve. That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. You want your developers and your miners to disagree. If they're the same person, miners and developers, you got a problem. You got a centralized coin. This is why Btrash is a centralized coin, because the developers of Btrash are probably the miners of Btrash. And that's why it can't succeed. That's why it just can't succeed. And all the miners are going to get out of China soon. I mean, the government's probably going to crack down on mining next. What percentage of Bitcoin holders hold the top 90% of the volume? How the hell do I know that? Here's what I do know, right? When you see an article saying 20 Bitcoin addresses hold 90% of the wealth of Bitcoin, God, those articles piss me off. First of all, one of those addresses is Satoshi, and he ain't spending it. Second, and it's not the fake Satoshi, Craig, right? Second, some of those addresses, like Zappos cold storage, Coinbase cold storage, it might be one address, it might be 10 addresses. But even if Coinbase has 10 cold storage addresses, each one can have like 10,000 Bitcoin. That's not one person. That could be thousands of people. Hundreds of people. Bitcoin ain't that popular. So don't get into this whole like communist view of wealth baiting. Don't listen to the bullshit that 100 Bitcoiners own 90% of the wealth. This is that communist hate the rich bullshit. And some of those addresses don't belong to a single person. Those addresses belong to 1,000 people. Okay? Come on. Just think. Not that many people have a lot of Bitcoin. They don't. Yes, I talked about Litecoin a while ago. All right, let me see. I don't know if this is a troll or a real comment. Tone is a fraud. Thank you. These guys take donations and travel around talking about finance instead of improving the quality and accuracy of content. Okay, it's the complete opposite of what I would have said. First of all, take a look at my donation address. I get like $50 a week. That's not enough to travel on. I travel at my own expense. Or conferences that want me to speak there cover my expenses. As for me doing this, I'm enjoying doing it. If I'm going to become a trader, you'll never hear from me again. I'll be too busy trading, which, by the way, can still happen. Still got friends that are mad at me. I never opened a hedge fund when I quit my job. Instead, I became a Bitcoiner. All right, let's move on. Tone, can you comment on the relation between the Bitcoin price and Bitcoin Google search trends? Well, that makes sense. How much of the price upside is driven by new users, in your opinion? Most of it. Most of the price of Bitcoin is driven by new users, guys. Oh, Jimmy texted me. Sure. Come on in, Jimmy. Wow, I wonder how long ago I got this message. Are you still on, Jimmy? Sure. Let's get Jimmy in here. I got a few more minutes. I'm going to text him the link. Let's see. Hold on. See if Jimmy can jump in. Like a random thing. The chat was scrolling too fast. I'll shoot him the link. Maybe he's still watching. I don't know if he is. Where is he here? Oh, yeah. He only sent it to me 15 minutes ago. All right, I sent Jimmy the link. Let's see if he gets in here. All right. Yeah, a lot of the price is driven by new users because new users usually come in at the top of the bubble. Nothing wrong with that. It's how it always happens. Yeah, most of the price rise is driven by new users coming in. Now, what you want is you want these users not to panic and to kind of stay in there with the price. Okay, Tone, any comment on Charlie Lee's tweet? I don't know what Charlie Lee's tweet was. Let me see. I have a trusted source. Again? Charlie, again? Didn't I talk to you about this? I have a trusted source that says that there's no truth to China banning mining or network. Charlie. Anyway, I would not have tweeted that. I would have kept it to myself. All right, next. Why don't the miners have all the power? Because then there would be no Bitcoin. Why do the developers have any power over what changes are made? Because the developers is who people trust. Nobody trusts the miners. There's like, we expect the miners to just be selfish and be there for their own best interest. And we expect the core developers to make sure that miners mining for their own self-interest benefits the rest of the world. If miners have the power, Bitcoin would be worthless. Okay? I don't know how else to explain it. Next. Any more questions? What would happen if China banned or nationalized Bitcoin mining? Well, if China nationalized Bitcoin mining, it would go to shit. It's kind of like nationalizing Venezuela's oil production. And look at Venezuela, right? So government will not be able to mine Bitcoin farms. They wouldn't, right? I mean, government being able to mine Bitcoin farms will be as successful as Venezuela mining oil. It'll be a complete shit show. So you don't have to worry about that one. Okay, Venezuela is actually confiscating mining equipment from miners in Venezuela, from what I hear. So, like, again, they're just gonna they can't, government can't manage anything. So, what if they ban it? Oh, it'll just move to Russia. It'll move to Mongolia. It'll move to Vietnam. It'll move to Myanmar. Right? It'll just move. It's what you wanted. You guys are all complaining about centralized mining. Start calling the Chinese government and ask them to ban mining. I don't know. What do you want? I'm not doing it. You guys do it, right? If centralized mining in China bothers you, go ask the Chinese government to deal with it. You know, I know you guys know. I know you guys are all libertarians and you hate it when I say this, but hey, I was ignoring fake Chinese volume for years. You guys, all throughout 2016, people kept tweeting at me. They kept texting me, telling me how important Chinese volume was. All the volumes in China, why aren't you looking at the price of Bitcoin in Chinese yuan? And I told them all that they're idiots. No one cares about the price of Bitcoin in Chinese yuan. It's the US dollar. Chinese volume was fake. I knew it was fake from day one. I ignored it. I told everyone to ignore it. What happens? Chinese government shows up, cleans up the fake volume. All right, I'm happy about that. Hey, we got Jimmy. I'm not happy that they banned Bitcoin, but I don't care. Jimmy.
Hey, Tone. How's it going?
Oh, wait, I can't hear you. I got to get headphones. I wasn't ready for guests. Hold on. Let me grab a pair of headphones. I'll be right back. Talk to my guests.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm trying to get Google Hangouts toolbar, my lower third on, but it's good to see everybody. It's been a while since I've done a show with Tone, so I feel like this is kind of important to talk about some of these things. I was in the chat earlier. That was me, and I was commenting, hey, it sounds like Tone has come over to my view. I'm sure you guys are talking about SegWit 2x and all that stuff. So yeah, once Tone gets on, I'll rag him for it. Tone, can you hear me?
What'd I say?
Huh? Well, I was in the chat earlier. I was watching the show, and it sounds like you come around to my view. You want 2x to happen. I actually think it's, you know, good because it makes the network more anti-fragile. It protects Bitcoin against sort of all these kinds of things, and you know, it ends up making Bitcoin stronger and therefore a better store of value, which in turn makes it a higher price, which I think we all would like.
Yeah, but for different reasons, though. It's not exactly the same, right? For different reasons. For different reasons. Well, my reason is that it would destroy Bcash, and it would prove to the world that you can fork Bitcoin as many times as you like, and the miners that only care about all the miners care about money, but some care a little more about money than they care about the security of Bitcoin. And those miners will just keep flipping from one Bitcoin fork to the next, and it will actually render that. I mean, there's only going to be like 2 or 3 of these Bitcoin hard forks, and when you see that every time you fork, some of the miners will just move from the previous fork to the new fork, from that fork to the next fork, and you just destroy the older forks as you go. So that's my reasoning for it.
Well, so I mean, I would agree with you, except the fact that we have like hundreds of altcoins and they all survive. My bet is that we will have hard forks, but that there'll be sort of like a new way to launch altcoins, basically. Because
yeah, but how many? No, but how many SHA-56 mining algorithms? Like how many? I mean, altcoins that don't compete with Bitcoin for the same mining hardware. Well, like how many of those are surviving, right? Like where can you point your ASIC to besides Bitcoin and be profitable, other than Bitcoin and Bcash?
Yeah, so I'm guessing that what's going to happen is a lot of them are going to switch proof of work at the same time, right? Like because you get
no, that doesn't count. Oh, that's what I said on this channel like weeks and weeks ago, right? I said, hey, you wanna go after Dash? Fork Bitcoin and change your mining algorithm to X1 or whatever, the X11, whatever the hell it is, you know. But yeah, you can do that, right? No, but specifically, right? If you're gonna fork Bitcoin and stay with Bitcoin's mining algo, for those, there's only going to be so many, right? Because I don't want SegWit2x to change the mining algorithm, right? Because I want all of the miners from Btrash to go to the SegWit2x hard fork to leave all of those big anti-SegWit big blockers with no coin.
Well, so I agree with you that there's only like a limited amount of room for a SHA-256 coin. And I think that's right. There have been other coins in the past, and I remember one in particular. I think it was like TerraCoin or something like that. What happened was they had so little hash power that one ASIC would go on and mine the hell out of it. Their difficulty would adjust, and then they come off, and then there wouldn't be blocks for like, you know, days or something like that. So of course, like Bitcoin Cash has this whole emergency difficulty algorithm, which I think may be used more in the future for other hard forks if they want to go that route. The thing is, you need the demand and liquidity in order to make that work. And the liquidity on Bitcoin Cash is high because they're the first. I can't imagine subsequent forks like that having the same amount of liquidity. So I
agree. I agree, right? So I'm expecting the 2x hard fork to have less liquidity than Bcash, but all of it. But here's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting people that aren't mining Bcash now. I don't expect them to be mining 2x. But I'm expecting a bunch of miners from Bcash to mine 2x because it might be more profitable. Like right now, we're comparing profitability between Bcash and Bitcoin. If 2x forks, it's going to be a triangle, right? We're going to be comparing 2 profitabilities at the same time. So now I can see that when 2x becomes more profitable to mine versus Bitcoin, the miners and versus Bcash, the miners are going to switch from Bcash to 2x way more willingly than they are from Bitcoin to Bcash to 2x. It becomes like this triangle thing. So both of them become weaker, right? So the new hard fork and the old hard fork, they're both in combination, they may be a fraction stronger than the current single hard fork, but individually they are each weaker, which makes Bitcoin stronger against them because against either one individually. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a famous problem in physics called the three-body problem. If you have two, it's pretty easy to determine profitability. Once you add a third one, you know, the system's nonlinear, so it gets very chaotic. So those miners that keep like going back and forth between three, that's going to make it a very, very difficult thing to figure out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're almost not gonna go between three. It'll be the B trash miners that are gonna go back and forth between mining B cash and 2x to get the Bitcoin.
Well, it depends what's more. If you're chasing profit, you might go between all three. If you're sort of ideologically on the big blocker side, then you might go between 2x and Bitcoin Cash.
Right, but I foresee for a reasonable amount of time in the beginning, one of those two will always be profitable against Bitcoin. But
you think so?
Yeah, but it will be flipping back and forth because they will leave Bcash to mine 2x while Bcash profitability drops like a stone. Then they switch back, dropping the 2x profitability, lowering the 2x difficulty. So they'll just go back and forth, and it'll be a while before that equalizes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't foresee this going for that long without some sort of attack between one and the other.
Oh, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I would love to see.
Yeah,
I actually want to see them all in the ring, like put them all in the octagon with each other.
Well, I did notice though that
I would bet on Roger Ver in that case though.
Yeah, I mean, Gian said that they would mine 2x, like they're sort of like pot committed on that. It'd be interesting to see if he follows through, in which case, 2x is going to have significant mining power, but if the price is very low, they might be mining at a loss for a long time.
No, but the point is, right, like if Jihan goes to 2x, then Bcash gets killed. Right,
yeah,
that's what I want.
You would think so. Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like a difficulty algorithm. So they like at some point it becomes more profitable. In fact, you might be able to mine a lot of blocks really quickly. I mean, we saw that a while back where like 40% of miners went over to Bitcoin Cash, and they mined out 2,000 blocks in like 3 days.
Right, I know, I love it.
Yeah, so I mean that might happen again. It'll be really interesting to watch because that blockchain I can see sort of mining out the rewards a lot faster. I think Charlie Lee at one point put out a tweet that said something like, if this keeps going, then they're gonna just sort of mine out the entire thing really quickly because they'll just continuously do this loop and they'll have their halving like 6 months from now instead of like 2 years from now. So
yeah, sure, I fine, but look, Bitcoin is still fine. It's all steady, keeps going. Hey, so one last thing. I know this video is already over 2 hours long. I do have to wrap it up, but hey, can you just comment? I don't know if you heard me talk about. So I have sort of been under the impression that the 1 Satoshi limit is a variable that could be adjusted downwards. But I've been informed that in computer science, this is a little more difficult than I thought it was. My computer science skills, at one point were decent, and now they're non-existent. So can we divide 1 Bitcoin by more than 100,000, or is it really programmatically challenging?
All right, so it's 100 million first of all, and it would be very challenging. It would definitely have to be a hard fork, and you would need some way to detect that pre-hard fork it's worth whatever multiple, however many decimal points you want to go to. It would be quite a challenge, and every wallet would have to upgrade. The entire ecosystem would have to upgrade at the same time. I mean, this is the nature of a hard fork, right? Like it's not backwards compatible, so everyone has to upgrade, or you end up with 2 chains. So I would imagine, Tone, that if you wanted to go that route, what you would do is you would have something like a side chain where you would have better divisibility. So one Bitcoin would trade for like, you know, a million side chain coins, and it would be two-way pegged so that you would always get 1 million side chain coins for one Bitcoin and back and forth. And you could have a lot more divisibility on the side chain, and you can have Lightning or whatever you want on the side chain, and you could get essentially the same thing as long as you had you know, some way to come back and forth in that two-way pegged way. So that would probably be the approach.
And another one is, again, this is not something like one Bitcoin would have to be like over $1 million for us to even like consider this as anything. But I'm getting an echo. I'm not sure what that is, but anyway.
Oh yeah, let me put on my headphones. I believe that's right.
So I'll wait for you to put on the headphones. So, but another like simpler solution, I know the libertarians aren't going to like it. If we're at a point when a Bitcoin is over $1 million, and like, so that makes what, one Satoshi dollar or a penny?
A penny.
A penny. If you still want your sub-penny microtransactions at that point, well, you might have to go to a little bit of a centralized system, right? Like basically, you'd have a Lightning channel, and if you want to go sub-penny when a Satoshi's a penny, well, you know, your transaction may not settle until it's above a penny.
Yeah, or you can go to a sidechain. I really think sidechains are the solution to that, right? Like if you have a sidechain where one Bitcoin is worth 1 million of the sidechain coins, then you can have as much divisibility as you want, and even if Bitcoin goes to $1 billion, you can still settle like sub penny transactions on the sidechain. That's totally legit, and as long as there's liquidity between the two, which given it's a two-way peg, it should. I don't really see a problem with that. It makes it pretty cool. And also remember, with Lightning, you have cross-chain atomic swaps. So you could go to another chain, go do whatever you want on the other chain, and then come back to Bitcoin as the store of value. So that's another way you can do it.
All right, man. Anything else you want to say? I was gonna cut the video. I am at like over 2 hours, I think, and
What time is it over there anyway?
It's 3:20 p.m.
Okay, all right. So you're only like 6 hours ahead of me. Where are you right now?
I should be 7 hours ahead of you.
Huh. It's 9:20 a.m. in Central Time, and you're in London, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you would be +6 GM, +6 for me.
That's weird because I'm +6 versus New York, and you're not in my time zone.
No, you're +5 versus New York, I think, because daylight savings and all that.
Oh, did that just happen?
No, it's we're in daylight savings, so I think it makes it an hour closer. I forget. Somebody in the comments will tell us exactly. I don't know. I don't have a link to the chat, so unfortunately I can't see it.
Yeah. Hey, maybe this weekend we'll do another show like those, like the Bitcoin scaling show.
Yeah. Are we having a Bitcoin group later today?
I don't know. We gotta check with Thomas. I may be around later. We should check with him.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be good if we can do that. You know, have our normal show. Everybody sort of expects it, and I don't know, Tone. It feels like you know, whenever you and I are on, there's a lot of people asking questions, so it's always a good thing.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, I got like 875 viewers, live viewers still.
Oh my gosh.
This is why it's hard to cut. This is why it's hard to cut these videos, man.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
Let me glance at the price real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Do your price technical analysis, because I'm starting to learn this stuff. Okay. Yeah. You started a new count, huh? I'm starting to learn about it. Yeah. It's interesting. This 4 hour?
No, this is the daily.
Oh, okay. This is the daily. Yeah. This is the
daily. See, this is where the problem comes in, right? So on my counts, like I said, like we have to bounce here or we're in trouble. But because this 2 went lower than this 1, there is a short trade on the table, right? So like if I was auto trading this thing, I would be short right now, but I would be, you know, taking a loss and flipping it to a long above 4,100, but I would probably take the loss way earlier. This was a tricky spot. I probably would not have shorted it, like I said in the video. Like this is my no trade zone here, either above 4,100 or below 3,250. Like between 3,250 and 4,100, I'm not touching this thing because I have no idea where it's gonna go.
So it's a lot of uncertainty right now, which I think is reflective of the markets.
Yeah, like all these arrows begin once you go below these lines and it's staying above the lines. But the longer we stay at the line, the higher the probability that it will drop.
Yeah, it does seem
like... yeah, I put this arrow in like for the rest of the day. Up into here and then down. So
wow, we went to a 13. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, reversed right off of that. So reversed off this 9, reversed off this 13. Like you get these short tradable bounces, but then you got to be careful. You know, look, if you made a trade and you're profitable within a few hours, don't let that trade cost you money, man. Take your profit, set a break-even stop loss, do something, but don't let it cost you money.
Wow, interesting stuff. I gotta read some books. You gotta give me some recommendations.
I gotta. Oh yeah, of all the people, man, I should send you my list of reading material.
Yeah, because this is like absolutely fascinating because I'm realizing that there's at least some correlation to sort of behavioral economics. There's sort of like human biases that come in, and that's I think what gives technical analysis a lot of patterns is that there's aversion to loss, which is why things go down faster than they go up. There's a lot of they're sort of anchoring. A lot of people got in at a certain point, so that gives it sort of like a price support and things like that. It's absolutely fascinating to me to sort of like correlate technical analysis to human behavioral psychology, and like there are natural biases every human has, and it's pretty common. So the better you can examine those, the better it goes. It's great.
I agree. And hey, I'm gonna see you. I'll see you in LA. I'll see you in Santa Monica for the conference, right?
Yeah. You have why don't you promote that, Tone? I think you have a seminar. Yeah.
I have been.
Okay. Yeah, I have a seminar too. So I even have Pincoin sponsoring a scholarship. So if you're interested in my seminar but don't want to pay or can't afford it or something like that, please apply on programmingblockchain.com, and you may get a spot for free. So there you go.
Programming
blockchain. 2 M's.
Well, my bad. That's right. I got it.
.com.
Yeah. Are you? No, it's your GitHub.
No. It's programmingblockchain.com.
Oh, you're not Googleable yet. Too new, man. Too new.
Yeah, I know. Yours. Well, you're in the UK, so it automatically goes to like .co.uk or something. .com.
There you are.
There you go.
There's Jimmy's seminar.
Yeah, lots of stuff. There's I added a ton of stuff on there, including testimonials and sample exercises, so you can sort of get a feel for what you'd be doing, validating the signature for a transaction, stuff like that.
Nice. This for developers. I need to get a similar website or like add to my website for my training seminar.
Yeah.
Get it standardized.
Yeah. The nice thing is, if you use something like Hugo, which is what I did, it makes it like, you can, you have the template, you just publish the GitHub and then you point it and then it's all done. So
I'm on WordPress, man. It like dreads me to update the website.
Yeah, sorry, man. Maybe you should get a GitHub account. I'll show you.
Yeah, if anyone is complaining about my seminar being $200, I don't want to hear it.
No, they shouldn't. The information you give is worth way more than that. I think you should charge more, Tone.
I will. It's gonna be after this test run in LA. I'm gonna. Man, we should. Yeah. Well, it's all right. We'll figure something out. Everyone wants me to do one on the East Coast, so maybe LA or Philly or something. Or
you mean New York or Philly or something?
Yeah, New York or Philly or something like that. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So that's Jimmy's seminar. This is mine. It's gonna be in LA, October 12th. I already have a bunch of people signed up, so I will be. I'll shoot over an email to the organizer so that he can send you guys some study guides that I'm going to put together, or at least website.
Also, my seminar, there are only 3 spots left. So Just so you know.
All right, cool. All right, Jimmy. Hey, thanks for jumping on. And let me stop screen share here. All right. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Hope you guys enjoyed this extra long episode. Thank you for my hosts here in London. It's Friday evening. I'm probably going to be going out. I got to try. See, it sucks when now Thomas is 1 hour in front of me. So it's horrible. Like usually when you and I are in front of him, it's great. But when he gets ahead of us, it's not. It's very.
Well, he's
difficult.
an early bird. I didn't know that. He's an early bird.
I know, man. I'm pretty early too in New York, but early for me is like 8 a.m. Like
Yeah.
Usually
you guys get up really early. I mean, I have to send off my kids to school, but yeah, it's all different. Anyway, good stuff, Tone.
All right, man.
Miss being on these shows with you, man. I feel like I miss these
you know what? I'm going to an Airbnb today. I'll be there for all weekend. Maybe like either Saturday evening, Sunday evening. We'll figure something out.
Sounds good.
My evening, your morning.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
Later.
Well, do you have a sign off? What are you gonna do with the?
I don't remember. I'm tired already. I just say everyone. Hey, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good luck trading. All right, here we go.